Okay. So this is completely the course is for API testing. So in this course, we are planning both the manual approach and automation approach. Automation plus framework. So framework is nothing but project. How we will work in the organization on API testing. So how we have to build up a framework of REST assured. So all these things will be covering here. Okay. So we are not separately, we are not conducting separate course for the manual and automation and only for the project like that. So we are including all the three things in this course only. So first we will start with the manual approach. Then once we are getting some hold on the manual approach, then we are jumping into the automation. So then after completing all the content in the automation, then we are jumping into the framework. Okay. So this is what the plan. So right now we are doing. Okay. So for the course duration is 30 to 35 days. Course duration will be 30 to 35 days. Okay. So in this 30 to 35 days, we are completely learning about manual approach, automation, and framework. Okay. So first we are starting with the manual approach. So for the manual approach, we are using a Postman as a tool to work with the REST APIs. So we are using the Postman as a tool. Okay. So is anybody working already or like already working in automation? So how will be the criteria? Means I think you all are working, right? So working in automation or all of the manual or how it will be? Mhm. Okay. No voice. Hey, no. Rajput?
Not
Can you
working,
please?
ma'am. Still.
Mm-hmm. Rajput, can you rejoin again? Okay. Okay. So now first we are starting with the manual approach in the sense we are working with the Postman tool or the REST APIs. Okay. So first we'll start the manual. Then once we are getting hold on this, then we are jumping into the automation. Okay. It's like, whenever you're performing the functional testing, so to understand the application, for the better knowledge, first you will go through the manual testing, right? So in the same way, first we are, completing manual approach here. So in this, we are using the Postman as a tool. Okay. So in this Postman, this is a tool. Postman is a tool to perform the testing, API testing. Okay. So in this Postman, we are covering. So first, we are learning about the collection. So before that, we are first starting with the web URL. Okay. So basically, from very basic level to advanced level, we are taking in this course. Okay. We are starting from a very scratch and taking to till the advanced level, like till the framework build. Okay. So first we are learning completely about the web URL. So what is web URL? What are the parameters it contains? So for each and every parameter, we should be knowing clearly to work with the API testing. Okay, each and every parameter, what it is doing exactly. Something is which is mandatory, which is not mandatory. If something we are missing in that, what we have to do by the time. So all these things will be learning. Okay, so basically first we are learning completely about the web URL and what are the parameter it contains and what are the uses of the each and every parameters. So after completing about the web URL, then we are jumping into JSON language. Okay. So here understanding JSON is very important because we are then, when we are working with the REST APIs, while sending the data to server, while receiving the response from the server, all the things we are dealing using the JSON language. Okay. So to knowledge of the JSON language is very important. Okay. So in this JSON language, we'll completely learning about JSON advantage because we have a HTML, XML, so other languages we have. But why we are going for the JSON instead of all those languages? What is the advantages it has over those languages? That we have to be done first. Okay. So we have to. This is a very important question with respect to interview also. Okay, so why we are going to for the JSON, we have HTML also. You can send the transmit the data using HTML or XML also. But why you're going for the JSON approach? So these things will be learning. Okay, so JSON introduction, and after this, then we are learning about JSON objects, how to create a JSON objects. Then after learning this, then we are learning about JSON array. Okay, then creating a complex data, creating complex or nested data. Okay, so we'll be having a complex data as well as nested data. So how to create a data in JSON, complex data and nested data, and how to work with the REST API. So all these things will be covering here. Okay, so once covering the web URL and JSON, then we are jumping into the HTTP methods. So HTTP methods. So HTTP methods is nothing but we are performing the all the business operation by using the HTTP methods. Okay. Tell me what is the business operation we do usually with respect to the application. By having the application, what are the business operation we do? Which method we use? Any idea? Generally, whatever the application you'll be taking, for example, in the functional testing also, what is the activities you do? Mhm. Integration tool, not on automation. Okay, Vasiraj. Fine. Integration tool in the sense CI bar CD tool, Jenkins. So yes.
No, no, actually, that is
Mm-hmm.
MuleSoft.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 So guys, what I'm telling is, so here by using the HTTP methods, we are performing all the business operations. Okay. So what are the main business operation? Whenever we are having any of the application with us, what we do? What is the basic operation we perform on those applications? It is wrong or right? Okay, just interrupt with me. I want session to be very interactive. Okay, otherwise I feel very bored. Okay. Okay. So whatever the application you take, okay. So we will be performing what we are performing crude operation, right? Correct. Okay. So which is nothing but we will be performing creation of the data, or we will be performing retrieval of the data, or we will be performing updation of the data, or will be performing deletion of the data. So this is what we perform with respect to any of the application. Okay, whenever we are having some application, we perform basic this operation. Okay, so we must be knowing how to how to work with this operation by using these HTTP methods. Okay, so this is all the things we'll be learning. So we have a post method, we have a delete method to perform deletion, we have a get method to retrieve the data from the server, we have a put or patch method for the updation. So we will be taking a particular APIs which perform the particular task, and we will be working with the particular methods. Okay, so knowledge about the HTTP methods is very important. Okay, so then, so for example, taken any of the application, this basic operation, this crude operation or business operation, we call it as. Okay, so it is very important because whatever the application you're working on, you will be performing these operations only. Either you will be creating some data, or else you are retrieving the data, or else you are updating it, or else it is you are deleting it. Okay, take an example of any banking application. Okay, maybe take an example of a HDFC. Okay, so what you will be doing? So in HDFC Bank, you will be creating the data. Okay. So maybe for the creation, they have exposed one API. So that API is responsible to perform the creation of the users. Okay. So how to work with that APIs by using the creation method here. Which method we have to make use here? Which HTTP methods we have to make use to achieve the creation of the data? Okay, that we will be learning. Okay. So here in the HDFC bank account, so you'll be maybe you're creating your account. Okay, that is done. Okay, maybe sometime you're logging in and you're retrieving your balance. Okay, that is what read operation. And maybe you're wrongly updated your some phone number or address, something you're wrongly updated. So you want to update your data. So by the time you have to update it. Okay, then maybe you don't want to continue the service with the HDFC bank. So you have to delete your account. Okay. So this is what basic business operation we call it as. Okay. So that we have to be very clear idea how we can achieve this business operation in the API testing. Okay, so first we are completing these things. Okay, first we are starting from web URL, then completely learning about the JSON language also in this course. Okay, this is separate course we are not doing for all these things. Okay, in this also we are covering this JSON language. Okay, so then we are working with all the HTTP methods, and then we are learning some tool based knowledge. Okay, means we have a collection topic here. Okay, so in the Postman we have a collection. Okay, so this is the collections. Okay, so I have created list of collection here based upon my requirement. I have created a list of collection here. Okay, so we will be learning what is collection, and so like what is collection, and why we have to go for the collection, what happens, what are the advantages we have in the collection, and what happens if the collection is not there. Okay, or what are the advantages we are having in this collection. So all these things we'll be learning here. Okay, and inside the collection, how to create a folder, and how to segregate the different types of requests. Okay, so different types of requests means we'll be having a so many types of requests, right? We'll be having a post request, we'll be having a get request, we'll be having a update request, we'll be having a delete request. Okay, so we can segregate each and every request based upon its uses. Okay, so how we can achieve that, and how we can perform the authentication in the collection, and how we can perform the test validation, and how we can perform the pre-request scripts. So all these things will be covering completely about the collection. Okay, so how to create this, and what is the use of this, and how to create a folder in it, and what happens if the collection topic was not there, what will be the disadvantages we were facing, and what is the advantages we have for having the collection. So all these things we'll be learning. Okay, so once after completing this, then we are learning something about environments. Okay, so environment is nothing but, so in organization we'll be having dev environment, QC environment, and pre-prod environment, and production environment. Correct. Okay. So based upon the environment, obviously our application URL will get changed. Correct. We'll be not using the same URL, whatever the URL we are using for the production. Okay. So that URL will not be using here while we are performing testing. Okay, so based upon the environments, so the URL will also get changed. Okay, so how we can create a different environment, so that how we can pass the values to different values. Maybe whatever the test data we are using in a QC is not same as whenever we are working with the production. Okay, so all these things, how we can create the environment, different environments, and how we can work with the REST APIs in different environments, and how we can create a variable based upon the environments. Okay, variables topics also will be covering. Okay, so we can create a variables for different environments, and how we can send the values which is assigned in the variable to the corresponding environment. Okay, so here what is variable, and why we have to you go for the variable topics here, and what is the advantages we are having by having the variable topic here. Okay, and how we can send the values through the variable to different environments or different requests. based upon the requirement. Okay. Okay. So all these topics will be covering. So then next, after the environment, something we are learning about authentication. Okay. So authentication is nothing but, so whenever we are working with the REST APIs, we have to authenticate ourselves before using those data. Okay. Otherwise, it will not let us to, you know, making use of their data to read their data. So before we have to authenticate ourselves. Okay, we have to authenticate and we have to tell that we are authenticated user. Please provide the data. So like that, we have to inform the API. Okay, so we have a different types of authentication here. So we have a barrier token, we have a basic auth, we have a API key, we have a auth one, auth two. Okay, so all these authentication types we will be working on. Okay, so we can perform the authentication with different types of authentication with respect to REST APIs we'll be learning. Okay, so we'll be covering all the authentication types. So these are all very important with respect to interviews also. Okay, they may ask you which authentication you have used in your previous company, how you were performing the authentication with the APIs. So all those questions they will be asking. Okay, so we'll be covering this. So once after covering this, then we are working with the response validation. Performing validation on the responses. Okay, so performing validation on the responses means, so we are sending the request. Okay, so we are sending the request. So once after sending the request, we'll be getting back a response. Okay, so for example, this is one application and this is one application. Okay, so we are sending the request here. So once after sending the request here, so we'll be getting back a response. Okay, so we have to perform validation on these responses. Okay, by using the different parameters, we have to perform the validation on this. Whether the actual is, matching with the expected. So all these things will we have to validate. So we can perform the validation on the request and the response that we will be learning here. Okay. So all the things we'll be covering with respect to the manual approach first. Then once after covering this manual approach, then we are jumping into the automation. Okay. So then here we'll be working with a data driven approach. Okay, if you are working in a automation, I mean to say in Selenium means maybe you will be aware of how to perform the data driven. Okay, same thing we are achieving here. Okay, so why to perform the data driven? We have to perform the data driven by having a third party tool. Okay, so for example, we have all our data in my Excel. Okay, so we have to, you know integrate my Excel with my Postman, and we have to perform the all the action, all the crude operation means all the business related option we have to perform. Okay, so all these things will be learning. Okay, so data driven approach is also covering, and then complex data, working with complex data. Then last is here, working with the complex data. Complex data or nested data. Okay, we can perform the complex data or nested data will be learning. So once after this, so this is all the plan with respect to manual. Okay, so once after covering all these topics here, then we are jumping into the automation. Okay, so before jumping into the automation, okay, once after covering all this, then we are coming here automation. Okay, for the automation, we are using Eclipse as a tool. Okay, to write the scripts, we are using Eclipse as a tool here. Okay, so then we are performing the automation of the REST API by using the REST Azure. Okay, REST API by using REST Azure. Okay, so REST Azure is a Java library. This is also kind of API. Okay, which is providing us inbuilt methods, inbuilt classes to perform the REST API testing. Okay, so to perform the API testing, prerequisite is we need some knowledge of Java. Okay, So if you don't have a knowledge on Java is also, that's fine. You just inform me prior before starting the automation. I will just go through the Java concept which is required to perform the API testing. Maybe that's the oops concept is more than enough. So I will be taking a 2 or 3 class for that Java class. Then I am jumping into the automation. Okay. But prior that you have to inform me. If you know means that is well and good. If you don't know means just inform me prior. I will take 2 or 3 classes for this and then I will jump into the automation. Okay. So then, so in the Java, I will be covering OOPS concepts and maybe a collection topic and if it's required test NG. Okay. These three also I will be covering if you require. If you are okay with this topics, then fine. OOPS concepts plus collection plus test NG. Okay. This is an extra. Okay. If you require, you have to inform me, then I will take the class for this separately. Okay. If not required, then that's fine. I will start with the automation. Okay. This is like extra added in this course. Okay. So then once after that, then we are jumping into the automation. For the automation to write the scripts, we'll be using the Eclipse IDE we are using. So we are writing the scripts in the Eclipse. So what we are using, we have working with the Rust Azure library. Okay. By using the Rust Azure library, we are testing the REST APIs here. Okay. So all the same operation, whatever the things we have achieved here in the manual approach, that same thing we are achieving in the Postman also. Okay. So like how to work with all the CRUD operation, means business related option, like how to perform the creation of the data in automation approach. Okay. And how to retrieve the data in the automation approach, how to update the data in the service, and how to delete the data. So all these things will be covering. Okay. So once after this, then after sending the request, we'll be getting the response back. Okay. Here we'll be performing the response validation in the manual approach. Okay. So here also we are doing the same thing. Okay. Whenever we are sending the request, we'll be getting back a response. How to perform the validation on those responses, we'll be learning here. Okay, with the automation approach. So what happens here is, so maybe you are aware of a Selenium means, maybe they how it will be working. You will be having a inbuilt methods, inbuilt classes. Okay, by making use of those inbuilt methods and the classes, we will be performing the automation. Okay. So here also what happens is, so we are using a REST Azure as a, this is the library. Okay, Java library. So in this REST Azure, we have a inbuilt methods and inbuilt classes. Okay. So to perform some action in the Selenium, what we will do, we will simply call the methods and we will do that. Okay. For example, if you want to launch the browser, what we will do, we will call the get method and we will keep the URL there and it will launch the browser. In the same way, in the REST Azure also, we will be having a inbuilt methods and inbuilt classes. Okay. So just we need to import the package of this, and we have to make use of those classes and methods. Okay. It's very easy. You writing the code by using the REST Azure is very easy. We are not writing, damn code here. Okay. So we are using minimum code only we are doing and we are achieving this. Okay. So then, so what are all the things we have performed here? Okay. All the things will be achieving the REST Azure also. So after sending request, first we will be learning about how to perform the validation, because this is very important. Okay. So we have to perform the validation on the each and every parameter of the response. Okay. And then we are achieving the data driven approach in the automation also. This is very important, data driven approach. Okay. So then after that, we are working with the complex data and nested data. How to work with the complex and nested data in the automation. Okay. So complex and nested data means, for example, take an example of a student. For the student, we'll be having different variables like a name, age, and subject. And when it comes to the subject, not only one subject you are studying. Okay. So you will be, studying so many subjects. Like, this is the parameter if you take. So name may be something, and age may be 20, and subject, when it comes to subjects, we will be not studying single subject. Okay, we will be studying multiple subjects. So this is one subject, and this is one subject, and this is one subject. Okay. 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 So likewise, maybe another thing is there, like what is this? Hobbies. Okay. Maybe hobbies. Hobbies also you'll be having list of hobbies. Okay. Not a single hobbies you will be having. So this is what in the request you will be having a, okay, maybe you'll be having the list of hobbies here. Okay. So in the request, okay, we can write here in the textual way. Okay. But whenever you're sending the same data with the service, you have to handle it. Okay. That you're handling by using a JSON now, JSON language. Okay. So how we have to create a data, complex data in the JSON language. Then how we are sending that data through the request. All these things will be learning. Once after sending this, then you are getting the response back. After getting the response back, how to validate this complex response. Okay. So all these things will be covering. So once after covering all this automation approach topics, then we are jumping into the framework. Okay. So framework also we are starting from the very scratch. So in the framework, so we are integrating our scripts with the Jenkins tool. Basically, we are integrating our framework with the CA bar CD tool. So we will be running the jobs here. Okay. So we are not, manually executing in the Eclipse. Okay, in the framework. Okay. So we have to learn. Okay, in the organization also this is what happens, right? So whatever the scripts you will be having, so you will not go and you will not run in manual here in the Eclipse. Okay. So you have to run in the Jenkins only. You have to create a different jobs for the different requirement, and you have to run those jobs in the Jenkins. Okay, so that's why. So here also, whatever the scripts you will be creating here, okay, whatever the scripts you will be creating in the Eclipse, so you are integrating this project, this framework with the Jenkins. Okay, so you have to run your scripts in the Jenkins. So you have to generate the report in the Jenkins only. Okay, so learning about the Jenkins, and along with that SNG and Log4j. Okay, so all these implementation we are doing in the framework. Jenkins integration and TestNG framework methodology, and the Log4j also we are integrating in that, so that it can track the each and every request values. Okay, so what is happening? If something is failing, it has to track in the log4j. If something is passing, it has to track in the log4j. So each and every result it will be tracking. Okay, so all these things will be creating a framework. Along with that, we'll be integrating Jenkins and TestNG and log4j, and we'll be creating the framework from scratch to complete advanced level. Okay, so this is what the plan with respect to this course. Any doubt with respect to the course content? Mm-hmm. Any doubt? Any doubt with respect to the course content? Okay. JSON is the language. Okay. So that I will be starting in the demo sessions. Okay. So this language you are using to communicate between two applications. Whenever we are sending some data to the service, and whenever we are receiving some data from the service, we are using this language. We will be learning, Vivek. Don't worry. Yes, yeah, more than enough. Yes, that is enough. You are doing okay. In the Eclipse, you are writing your scripts. See, here in the manual, see, you don't want to write any scripts, okay? You will be getting a API like this, okay? So you are getting API like this, and you are just, clicking on this. This is what manual approach, okay? Just sending like this, you will be getting the response here. This is what manual job, okay? See here, you will be, from the developers, you will be getting a APIs. Okay. So then they will be given some documents for you, like this is the get API. So you have to perform the, you have to make use of this parameter and you have to perform the action. Okay. Then what you are taking, being a test engineer, you are taking those APIs and selecting the particular method for the retrieval. See, where what I'm doing here, I'm just retrieving the data. I mean to say, already data is present in the database. Okay. For example, your account detail and all is already there in HDFC. Okay. So whenever you're logging in, you're just clicking on the retrieve my balance. Okay. Whenever you're just clicking on it, so you are retrieving the balance. You are getting your balance detail. Okay. So to retrieve that, so we are using a get method. Okay. Maybe you have to create something, so by the time we have to make use of a post method. Okay, so all these things will be learning, don't worry about it. Okay, so what is JSON? This is what JSON, guys. Okay, this is what key value pair. Okay, the data will be in the form of key value pair in the JSON. This is the complex data only. See here, so we have our direct data like this, and also along with it we have a array object. Okay, don't worry about all these things. I will teach you when I'm starting the demonstrations. I will be teach you. Okay, so don't worry about that. But as of now, for this workshop, just have a idea that what are the things you're going to learn in this course and how it is useful for you, for your career growth or for your skill development, whatever it may be. Okay. So what happens here? So just you will be getting the URL and you're selecting the method and you're sending and you will be getting the response here. Okay. So this is what response we are receiving from this service, from this URL. On this response we have to perform some validation. Okay, so this is what okay, we will be performing here in the postman. This is completely manual. You are not writing any code, you are not using any language to perform this, just handling this tool. Okay, but here in the Eclipse you are performing automation. See, what are the things you are doing here, right? Clicking and sending and receiving response. This is what you have to achieve in coding. Okay, so you have to achieve by taking that API, you have to do that in coding. Okay, maybe if I show something, maybe I'm just don't worry, this is very easy. By looking into the course, okay, no, by looking into the code, don't feel that we have to write a lot of coding here. Okay, it's very easy. Okay, hmm. See, this is what we are achieving in the but same thing we are achieving. See, okay, this is one thing. Okay, same thing we are achieving the automation approach. Okay, means we are writing the script to achieve this. Whatever the thing we are doing here in the manual, that we are achieving here by a coding. Automation is nothing but you have to write some script, right? So you have to write a script to achieve that. So you are writing the script to get the request. See here, I'm performing get request only here. Okay. See here, as I have written a get method. Here, what is happening? I have just selecting the get method here. In the list of method, I'm simply selecting it and I'm sending. Okay. But here, I'm writing it in the code like this. Okay. So learning about the automation is very important. Okay. Manual thing is fine. Anybody can do that. Okay. By having this knowledge. But learning the automation is very important. Okay. So this is the added advantage for if you want to switch a company or if you want to hike your salary. Okay, so knowledge about the automation is very important. Okay, and this learning this API testing is also very important. API testing is nothing but backend testing. I will come to that point. Okay, but before that, tell me, have any doubts with respect to the course content? Yes, Kiran. Daily 1 hour. So 6 to 7 best timing is. Okay. 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. daily 1 hour. Hmm, yeah. Anything else other than this? Okay. 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 So, hmm, okay. Okay, no issues, right? Means don't have any doubts on the code's content, right? If you have anything, means just let me know. Okay, just ping or you just unmute yourself and ask me. Okay, okay. So API testing. What is this API testing? So API testing is nothing but backend testing. Okay, so it is the backend testing. Okay, so we have a front end testing. What is that? Front end testing. Okay, so we have a front end testing and we have also have a back end testing. Okay, so front end testing is nothing but your Selenium. Okay, so functional testing. Okay, whatever the functional testing you are performing in the automation is nothing but by using the Selenium. Okay, so we have a Selenium to perform the front end testing. So likewise, we have REST Azure testing. Okay, so we have this API testing to perform the backend testing. Okay, so for the front end testing, maybe you can do in the manual and also in automation. If you are using, automation approach means you are using the Selenium. So here also, so if I want to, perform the postman API testing manual approach means we can learn the postman and we can go with the manual approach. Okay, but the same thing if you want to work in the automation means we have to learn this Azure framework. Okay, this library we are learning to achieve the automation approach of API testing. Okay, so this is nothing but backend testing. Okay, so backend testing is nothing but business logic testing. Okay, so here we will be having so front end like this. Okay, this is a front end. Um, maybe this is a backend, and this is the database. One more is database. Okay, so if you know the all these three things means you call it as a S-date engineer. S-date engineer has a lot of value in the market. Okay. Nowadays, what is the company expecting is you just go to the Naukri and just you see the job description. Okay. The person should be having the candidate should be having the knowledge of both the front end and back end. They will prefer those candidate first. Okay. Because none of the organization want to hire two person for the different types of testing. Okay, for example, one person know only front end testing and the other person know the front end testing as well as back end testing. So they prefer the second candidate only. Okay, because they don't want to put some invest on the two person to perform the this testing. Okay, the person who know the both knowledge they will they will take them first. So that's why knowledge on API testing is very important nowadays. Okay, if you want to switch your company or if you want to uh, you know demand some hike or if you want to develop your skills or for all the things API testing knowledge is very important because nowadays all the application whatever the application you take completely based on the API. Okay, in real time also. Okay, maybe you're traveling somewhere. Okay, for example, okay, you are maybe you will be using a Hola. Okay, so what is happening there? So Ola you are using fine, but how you are getting all the information about the location? So how you're getting all the information about the location? Of course, the Ola company, the Ola application consuming Google Map API there. Okay. So they are consuming Google Map API. Google is the one company, correct? Ola is one company and Google is one company. Google is one application and Ola is one application. These both are two different applications. But the Google company, so Google map detail we are retrieving in the Ola. So how they are doing that? Is it not possible to club both the application and put it there, right? So they are just consuming the Google Map API. Okay. So whenever they are consuming the Google Map API, so whatever the details is there, it is available in the whole application also. Okay. So likewise, there's so many application. Okay. Take an example of Amazon. Take an example of a Flipkart. Okay. So what happens there? Maybe you are logging in into the Amazon here. You take this as the Amazon. Okay, what you're doing here, you are, searching some product and you are about to buy that product. Whenever you're clicking on the This is maybe your phone pay. Okay, so whenever you're clicking on buy now button here, okay, so whenever you're clicking on the buy now button here, what is happening? List of data will be opening here. What is that list of data? Here it is showing you the list of option, like you can pay with the phone pay, you can pay with the Google Pay. Okay, here list of data, phone pay, Google Pay, and pay with UPI, and pay with etc. Okay, etc. 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 Okay, some other maybe Paytm. Okay, so what is happening here? Phone Pay is also another application. Google Pay is also another application. Okay, and maybe your Paytm is also another application. This Amazon, what it is doing? So whenever it is clicking on the buy now, it is consuming the Phone Pay API here and Google Pay API here. Okay, so they are consuming these APIs to perform the transaction and to run this Amazon business. Okay, so whatever the application you take now, okay, now give me some example, which application is using like this. You can take any application, every application is using this actually. Okay, so they are simply consuming this application APIs to perform their transaction and to run their business. Okay, so that's why the knowledge of the API is very important, very important. You just go to the Naukri and see the description of the job. Okay, in each and every job description, they specified that knowledge of the REST API or API testing is must. Okay, so then here, so this is a Selenium to perform the front end testing. Okay, so this is the backend. Okay, this is what, okay, API testing here we are performing. Okay, this is some database testing. Okay, so we have Selenium to perform the front end testing. So same wise, we have a API testing to perform the business logic. Okay. So okay, first we have to perform the business logic is working fine or not. Once the business logic is working fine, then only they will implement the front end. Okay, so once after confirming the business logic working fine, then only they will implement the front end technologies, means front end thing. Okay, otherwise they will not implement till that. If the business logic is only not working fine, then what is the use of developing the front end? Correct. So first we have to work with the API testing, then only the front end testing will happen. Okay, so here to validate the business logic. Okay, to validate the business logic also we have to perform something, right? So we should not rely on the developers. Okay, they will tell that yes, yes, business logic is working fine, but we should not believe that. Okay, so we have to validate from our end by using a API testing technique. Okay, by using this API testing technique, we have to validate the business logic and we have to confirm that yes, business logic is working fine. Okay, whenever we are confirming that, then they will start with the front end. Okay, then front end test engineers will perform the front end testing. Okay, so now what happens? State, okay, state engineer will be performing both the back end testing and the front end testing as well as its required database also. Okay, so this is what is very useful nowadays to learn each and every end-to-end testing. Okay, front end, back end, and again the database. Okay, so now, okay, understood, or any doubt with respect to this? Understood. Okay, and one more example. Okay, I think you come across some application. So whenever you're trying to log in into the application, okay, so suppose you are trying to perform the login, okay, so that application, no, now you have to answer for this question, okay. So here you have a on application, okay. So what you're doing here? So you are performing a login action here. Maybe you have to enter your username here and you have to enter your password and you have to click on the login. Okay, this is one option. Your username, your password, and here you have to click on the login. And one more option they are provided to perform, login activity. So what they did is here, or login with Facebook, login with Google. Okay, sorry, Gmail. Okay, so now tell me what is happening here. Maybe you might have seen like this option. Okay, so now tell me what is happening here. Your username and password and click on login. Okay, but you have one more option that login with Facebook, login with Gmail, or login with Instagram, login with Twitter. Okay, all these options they will be giving you. So what is happening here? Whether it is wrong or right, you just tell me. You just interact. If it is wrong, is also known. No issues. Okay, nobody will come and beat you, right? Just interact. hmm What is this? What they are doing? What is this application is doing here? Mm-hmm. Hmm. Just tell me, what is this application is doing here? See here. They have this is one application, okay? So this is one application. This is one application. xyz.com is the application. Just xyz is the name, okay? So in this application, if I want to log in into this application, I have to enter the username and your password and click on login. Okay. Or else I have one more option like this. So what this application are doing here? Login with Facebook, login with Gmail is there here. So what is this application is doing here? hmm Okay, send the request. Okay, going to database and verify the password and ID. Send the request. Okay, okay, yes, okay, okay. Just now I have explained, right? For example, this is the Amazon. When it is clicking on the buy now, okay, it is redirecting to the phone pay application. This is different applications. This is Amazon application and this is the phone pay or Google Pay or some other application. Okay, one second. Okay, okay. So here, what is happening here? Here, this application using Facebook API and Gmail API to authenticate their user. Okay, either you can authenticate yourself by entering your username and password, or you can make use of a Facebook and Gmail to authenticate yourself. So what is this company is doing is they are just consuming the Facebook API, Gmail API to authenticate their user. Okay. So I think you're seeing like this of options, right? So whenever you're trying to perform login action, you might have observed like this. Okay, okay, you can provide username and password and you can authenticate yourself, or else login with Gmail, login with Instagram, login with Twitter, login with Facebook. Like this you will be seeing the option. So whenever you are seeing this option, it means that this company, this application, XYZ application consuming Facebook API, Gmail API to authenticate the user. Okay. So anyhow, Facebook has authenticated the user before letting that user to use this Facebook. Okay. And Gmail is also same. So this company simply you know it is reducing its risk. Okay. Anyhow, Google and Facebook has authenticated the user. So this is the genuine user only. Okay, let me allow him to log into my application. Okay, so that is how they are using these companies APIs, this Facebook company APIs, and this Gmail company APIs to authenticate their user to perform their business, to run their business. They are consuming this company's API here. Okay, so this is how the API works. Whatever the application you take, okay, each and every application depends on API nowadays. Okay, so to learn about those APIs, to work with that APIs is very important. That is why use demand nowadays for the API testing. Okay, because each and every application depends on the API. Means someone should be there to whenever development is happening on the API. Means someone is there to validate those APIs, because it's not possible to send those APIs directly to the live. Okay, so someone should be present to perform the validation on those API, whatever the API they developed. So someone should be there to validate each and everything, right? So how it is working, what is happening, and what is not working properly. So that's why API test engineer will be doing those work. So whenever some API development is happening, so that API development means that APIs will be given to the API test engineer. So we will be performing the validation on those APIs. Then once we are confirming that yes, this API is working fine, this service is working totally fine. So we have to give a confirmation. Then only the other works will start. Front end, all the things will start. First, the validation will happen in the back end only. Okay. So this is what the key. Okay. So and in this we are covering all these topics. Any doubt with respect to the course or any content?
Ma'am,
Mhm.
I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Actually, for manual API testing, we are using Postman, correct?
Yes, yes, Bhushan.
But for automation API testing, so can we
Mhm.
use Postman?
No, 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 no. How you will write the script there? We have to write the scripts, right? We have to write some coding, right?
Yeah.
So for that we will be working with the Eclipse automation.
Yes.
Okay. So Postman is just to work with a manual thing. Okay. This is just a tool.
Right.
Okay. So to perform the scripts and all, we are using the Eclipse.
Okay.
Okay.
So in Postman, we are applying the authentication. Then we are
Uh-huh.
writing the
Mm-hmm.
test. Means in test sections, we are
Mm-hmm.
validating the APIs, correct? By writing
Yes,
some
exactly.
script over there.
Mhm. Yes, correct, correct. Yeah. There you are
Those
writing the
same.
JavaScript. Okay. So there in the Postman, so whatever the scripts you are writing, no, for that you are
Mhm.
making use of a JavaScripts and Chai BDD
Okay.
framework, something we called as a Chai BDD framework. Okay, that I will be telling you when we are starting the class. So yes, in
Mhm.
test we will be writing some scripts to validate the responses, and here also
Mhm.
in pre-request scripts also we'll be writing some scripts to send some data to the request. Okay, I will be telling you the difference between the pre-request scripts and test. We are both in both the case also we'll be writing some scripts, but when we have to write the scripts in tests and when we have to write the scripts in pre-request scripts, so that we will be learning completely. Okay.
And that we are writing in JavaScript.
Yes, yes, yeah, JavaScript.
So that for that we have to learn JavaScript, or just basic will be sufficient.
Uh-huh. Yeah, basic is sufficient. Okay, just maybe if you're aware of a Java mean, then you don't feel much difficulty in writing the scripts over there. Okay, just a variable assignment, some methods calling. Okay, I will be there to teach you all those things. What are the things required to perform the validation? I will be going through that. Basic knowledge is enough for that. Writing the scripts. Okay, most of
Okay.
the scripts will be available in the Postman tool itself. Okay, so most of the scripts will be available in the Postman tool itself. But apart from that, if we need some scripts to write to according to our requirement means, then we are writing by our own. Okay. Uh, so that we will be learning in further sessions. Okay.
Okay. And apart from that, as you said, we are also focusing on test
Mhm.
NG, then adding
Mm-hmm.
some hooks concepts and
Mm-hmm.
other Selenium parts. So will that be completed in 35 days?
Yes, yes, yeah, no issues. Yeah, we have already completed. No, 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 no. We have already completed 3 batches. Yeah, we can
Mhm.
cover in batch. No issues with that.
Fine. Okay.
Okay. If you need
Also, if
extra time, also we'll be do that. Okay. If you require some more time to learn, means so then we can accordingly we will do that. Okay.
okay, okay, got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Also,
You
ma'am,
were
one
asking
thing.
something. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If possible, can you throw some light on that database testing? Because it is
Uh,
actually new. Yes.
Database
Uh,
testing, I'm not performing a database testing here. This is database testing is a completely different topic. Some ETL testing, something they will be doing. Okay. So I don't have a, I'm not covering in this. Means this one you're asking, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So here, for completely about the database testing, they have some testing like a ETL testing, something is there, okay? Even I have not worked on the database testing. We have a different approach completely to do the database testing only, okay? But usually in the organization, what we will do means, so just we will be having a, if you want to learn the completely database testing means you have to go through that course, okay? But usually now in my organization, how we will do is if they are giving some API that we are performing all the this group operation means we will be having access to database. So just the basic check we are performing now, okay? So like whatever the creation you are doing by using this service, okay? Here, okay, for example, here. mm, Hmm. Okay, this is the post means it is the creating user. I'm creating one user here. Okay, so whatever the user I'm creating here by using this request must be created in the database also. Correct. See here I'm creating by using this URL. I'm creating one user. Okay, and it is providing that here successfully created. It is provide you the message. The user is created successfully. Okay, we should not rely on only this postman. We have to go back to the database and we have to check that whether the user is created or what. So this is what basic testing we will be doing. Okay, but if you want to
Okay.
learn completely, means it means that okay, you have created your account in the HDFC bank, okay, by using this something you have created here, okay. So you have to make sure that whether whatever the account you have created is present in the database of the HDFC also, okay. So then if it is present in the database, means yes, it's successfully created like that, okay. So this is what the plan here, okay. Completely ETL testing we are not learning here. Okay, so here we are making use of a JSON file like this. Okay, so this is we are it is acting as a database only here. We are creating our own local server and we are creating the JSON file here and whatever the data we are creating here. Okay, so whatever the data we are creating here, it has to added here in this file, like how it is added in the database. It has to add here in this file. Okay, so this is how we are testing. So in the organization also, if you're completely into the database testing means then you're performing each and every corner and end-to-end testing in the database. Okay. But in the normal testing, if you are involved in the API testing and the front-end testing means maybe you know how they will do. They will give you the database access and whatever the user you are creating here, and again you're going to okay here it's showing that successfully created. Okay, and again you're going to the database and you're checking there that whether this user is there in the database or what. So if it is there means yes, it's successfully creating in the database as well as it is showing the proper message validation message in the front end also. Okay, then you can confirm that yes, this particular API is working perfectly fine. This user API is working perfectly fine. User is able to create, I am able to create the user in the database. Okay, this is how it will work.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
What an idea.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So here, this is what, but to perform the front end testing, we are using Selenium. To perform the back end testing, we are using API. So to perform the database complete testing also, we'll be having some other like a ETL testing. So all those testing will be there. Okay. But here, whenever we are working with like this front end and Selenium and this back end, we will be having access to database and we will be doing some minimal testing there, not completely into database. Okay, but if we have a interest to work with that and if we want to jump into that also, we can learn and we can jump into that. Okay, that's based upon your company requirement. That's completely about your company requirement. How they are, approaching, then it will be. Okay. So if they are doing complete database testing, means, so then obviously you have to have a knowledge. That depends upon the company. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Have any doubt? Others? Bhushan? Okay, fine. Understood. Or any doubt?
Yeah, I got it. I have one more doubt.
Mm-hmm.
In Postman, are we checking means API one by one, or can we test API in
Mm-hmm.
one go? If we have a JSON file, developer
Mm-hmm.
has sent a JSON file to me.
Mm-hmm.
So can we test all the APIs at once,
Mm-hmm.
or manually we have to
Yeah.
test a single API at a time? So is there
Mm-hmm.
any
Okay.
option? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good question. Okay. That's what we are achieving data driven here. Okay. So data driven means we are taking from the external file, we are, testing each and everything at a time, and we have some collection topic here. Okay, so here also I will tell you all these concepts. We will be covering all this. Okay, so whenever we have a file, or we can create whatever the data we have in the file at a time in one go, and we can work with these stuff APIs whenever we are having here. So all these things we'll be learning. Okay, see, whenever we're having a list of APIs, so it's not possible to sit and work with single APIs, right? For that only, if it is that case means, so we have to spend a lot of time. In that case, we have to hire a separate person to create a this API's request only. Correct? It's not a one or
Correct.
two, or it's not like that. Okay, we will be having a bunch of requests. Okay, so we'll be learning. Okay, all those things how we can achieve with respect to Postman or here. We will be learning that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yes. In rest assured,
Mm-hmm.
means that a report will be generated, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Okay, you're asking me. Yes, 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 Bhushan. So we will be integrating a report thread. Okay, we'll be having some shoot file plugin we have, and we have a test ng also. Okay, so what happens here in the rest assured is, so we'll be running scripts. Okay, so while we are running the scripts, we not sure that some scripts may fail, some scripts may pass. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to generate the report, and we have to get the count of the request, that how many passed and how many failed. Okay, so that we will be generating in the report. So whenever we're looking into the report, we will get to know that how many passing and how many failing and how many skipping. Okay, so we have to concentrate on the failed ones now, because passing is anyhow they are passing. So we have to concentrate on the failed scripts now, and why that we have to analyze. Being a test engineer, we have to sit and we have to analyze that why these API are failing. Why is there any data mistake, data issue, or is there any service issue? So all the things we have to check and we have to provide. We have to try to fix those APIs. Okay, so those things we will be tracking in the report only.
Okay.
Okay,
Got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Is others have any doubt?
Am I going to cover perf testing and load testing?
No, no, Mahesh. Performance testing you're asking, right?
Right.
No, 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 no. I'm not performing any performance testing. It's completely a just a API testing. Okay. So on this load testing and all, I'm not including in this.
Okay, so basically this you are covering in terms of functional testing only, right? This APIs. Right?
Yeah, backend testing, completely backend testing. We're completing here.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So anything else? Have any doubts with respect to the course or any other API testing comes under? Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. So anything else, guys? Have any doubts with respect to the course? If you don't have any doubts, so then we'll wind up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kiran? So all are here, like, working in automation, right? Or manual? Mm-hmm.
I'm working in manual.
Okay, okay. So you are jumping now to the automation, right, Bhushan?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. No issues. Okay, yeah. Okay. So if you don't have any doubts, means then we'll wind up the session now. Okay, tomorrow we'll be starting the demo sessions. Okay, so demo sessions will be continuing for the this week, like till the June. Okay, so complete 1 week we'll be performing the demo session. Then after that we'll be starting the actual classes. Okay, so Monday, yes. Okay, for 4 days of demo sessions till the June 5th, we will be having a demo sessions. Okay, so then from Monday we will be starting. It means from 9th we'll be starting actual classes. But don't miss the demo sessions because that is also important. Okay,
The
if
demo link will
anything,
be same.
yeah, Bhushan. Like management will send you after the session. They will send you the demo link, or else they have
Okay.
uploaded in their portal also. Okay, in the portal also
Mhm.
it is
Okay.
available, or else they will send you. Yeah, okay. So within that demo session, just if you have a plans to enroll means just to contact the management and do talk. If you require any, if you need any extra information means just inform the management that they will contact with me. Okay.
Okay. And time will be 6 a.m. to 7 a.m.
Yeah, Bhushan. Morning 6 a.m. to 7
morning
a.m.
session. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for joining, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.